government. We need our Congress for everyone's benefit. The 1%, they just take what they like. We've got to show up and vote for our rights. So vote in November. Vote, a time to remember. Vote, don't be late. Vote, don't procrastinate. It's our country, our democracy. We can't afford mediocrity.
No, baby.
If we do nothing, our hope
It all goes
floats
down the
away.
tubes, baby. If we do nothing.
Get up off of
It's
that
the push, baby. Just to get that vote out. Anyway, it's Sunday, baby. It's time for another Blue Dot family meeting. I am so glad y'all are here. And, let me get my shit straight. I just finished up a big old bowl of gumbo. It is still rolling down my throat. So I am, right now, a pretty happy camper. My tummy's full. I hope y'all have had a good weekend, as good as you could. Anyway, I want to thank Richard Phillips, first one to jump in, followed by Mega Wet Willie. The remixtress is with us. Oddly Wired, our poet. Thank you, baby. Nancy Halverson is here. And Paula Gibson. Brian Champagne is with us. Thank you. Debbie Marie. Dina Michael is here. Jeff Curry. Thank you. Randy Peterson. Woo Pig Baseball. What? Baseball? Wait a minute. Talk to Virginia Woodley about that stuff about baseball. Anyway, Raylene Allen's here. My neighbor Tracy Tobias is here. Cat Daddy's with us. Our own Bernadette Pree, thank you very much. Dennis Utenreiner, Suzanne Jarrett, how are you doing, darling? Hope everything's coming up just green out there for you. Miss y'all. I wish we need another meeting, baby. Anyway, let me see. Donald Ware is here. Virginia Woodley is here, and I think here in a minute she rubs in how somebody got beat at baseball. I don't know who it was. It's irrelevant. Kelly K. Duncan is here. Sandra England, thank you very much. Dorothy Tyndall. Sheila Y. loves sunsets. Indeed she does. And Big Johnson's in the room. Anyway, I'm glad it's Sunday, baby. We get to start this week off. It's going to look like we're going to get something done. Well, we're going to wait and see anyway. I hope we get something done. Anyway, the title of the show is Big Oil, Big Guns, Big Pharma. You know, it's all big about big money, baby. But not too. You know, I dug out my Enough shirt. Got my Enough shirt on. Got this one right after Parkland. You know, I don't know how many mass shootings we've had since then, but we've had 8 since Friday. How you like that shit? 8. We've had them in Chattanooga, Tennessee, Philadelphia, had them out in Arizona, a few of them out in Arizona. Shit, they're popping up all over the place. 8 in just the weekend, baby. Seems like we're on a roll. We're on something, baby. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, ain't good. And it's just making us look like fools across this world. That this is the only nation that shit happens in. But we got to find a way to get control of it. That ain't no shit. We either need to find a way to control it, or it's just going to get to the point to where that's all we get. You know, I mentioned to Marcia earlier that you could take one of our news outlets, say any news outlet, pick one, And if all that news outlet did all day long was report on gun deaths across this country, they wouldn't have enough time in the day to cover them all. All right? By the time they get done talking about one, just giving the name and location, what happened, there's another one happening across town, across the nation, in another state, another city, in another town. It doesn't matter, baby. It could go on 24/7, keep up with the death count. Maybe that's what we need. Maybe a daily toll. Someone there to give the live report every time a gun goes off and a life is lost. Would it make a difference? Sadly, I don't think so. As for a certain percentage of our population, the gun is the ultimate god to them. And it still pisses me off because I got in this discussion earlier about the fact that we can't even do the simplest thing. And in my book, the simplest thing is, why is my beer opener stuck to, oh damn. Why can't we do a gun buyback? Other nations have done that. That's not, you don't have to pass a law for that. All you have to do is approve the funding. Is it going to solve the problem? Is it going to get all the guns? No. But it could get a whole lot of them off the street, make a dent somehow. You offered the right money, and hell, we could appropriate money for every freaking thing else in the world. Why don't we appropriate money for that? Because it's all about the money. There's talk going on right now in Congress that they ought to put a windfall tax on the oil companies. The oil companies are making record profits. I'm paying $4.50 a gallon down here. I don't know what you're paying. But for where I live, right here where we drill it and refine it and ship it right here, the gasoline refinery is not but about 30 miles from me. We don't have to ship it a long way. Hell, they could run a pipeline to some of these gas stations. So yeah, it's high here. And the oil companies are making record profits. Record profits. Guess who else is? Gun companies. You know, Big Pharma, they're making their money because everybody's having batshit crazy problems now, and we need drugs for that. So Big Pharma's happy as shit. Health insurance and all that crap, boy, they're just rolling in the dough. After a while, that's all you see. It's not about the care of the patient. It's not about the safety of our society. It's not about treating the customer right. It's about making money, baby. And if America has one thing, it's a capitalistic system that has a streamline for big business, baby. So yeah, guess who runs our country? It's Big Pharma, it's Big Oil, it's big gun companies. That's who runs our country. That's who makes the laws. That's who determines whether or not us little peon citizens out here get anything, a crumb. Now they're talking, because of the gun deaths around the country, they're talking about gun laws. And they're having discussions. Look, Canada's already acted. Just since Buffalo, Canada's already acted. We're talking about it. We're having meetings. Zoom meetings, too. And in the meantime, we had 8 more shootings over the weekend. Unless it, death count gets up to 20 or something, it's not really a big thing. It'll just be absorbed into the news, every one of them. The only answer that I know of is our voice and our vote. That's what I've based all this on, is our ability to stand up as a democracy, as a society, to determine which path we take, what our future is. But we have advocated it to those that make billions, baby, because they can buy a politician with just change, a tip, a smittance of what they have. It's hard to find a politician that you feel is standing up for you. I found one here in Texas. Beto O'Rourke. Put a lot of faith in that man. I believe he speaks for the people, and I believe if he were to get governor, he'd act for the people. But I don't see that in a whole lot of politicians. I don't know, baby. We need to step up the game, though. It's all about my voice, about your voice, about our vote. That's what all this comes down to. Everything comes down to us electing people that want to make a freaking difference. Not there for a paycheck. Not there to go to status quo, baby. Status quo ain't working for anybody out here. Working good to produce a few billionaires a year, I guess. I don't know. Keep the money class happy. Getting down, baby, getting down. Anyway, let's see if anybody wants to come up into the room. Anybody want to raise their hand over there and come up here and talk to us? I see one person with their hand up. Let me see. You can always count on Johnny Fly to want to use his voice, brother. Let me see if we can get him up here real quick. Oh, look at there. Now we done stimulated conversation. Johnny Fly, how are you doing, brother? Are you with us?
Fantastic.
Outstanding. And Asgard, did you make the trip, buddy?
How are you? Sorry, I accidentally muted my mic.
Uh-oh. That's all right. How are y'all doing?
I can't complain. How are you?
I'm making my day, baby. Making my day. Just got done with my dinner and ready to have a good conversation about where the hell we're going in this country. I don't know. You know.
Well, hey, John.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear, John? I have this on my phone. I find this interesting because this is from Representative Louis Gomart, your wonderful.
Oh yeah, he's down here in Texas.
Your representative.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, now this is dated on June the 3rd, and the Gomart was railed against the former Trump White House advisor Pete Navarro, while saying in an interview on Friday that, quote, now get this, I couldn't believe it when I read it.
Okay.
You're a Republican. You can't even be an agent or they're coming after you.
Oh, is this the congressman up in New York, up by Buffalo? I saw his little thing. Yes, he came out and he was running. He is the incumbent. But he's not going to run for re-election. He backed out because when he came out, he said he was open to some change in the gun laws. Baby, the right jumped on his ass. So he's backing out of the race. The incumbent Republican is going to back out of the race because he's not gun nut enough. So you want to know where part of our country is? That's a good indication. But instead of standing up to the gun company, instead of standing up to that shit, he's gonna. I mean, not the company, to stand up to the Republicans and his party. Who's gonna stand up over there? The only ones I see is Liz Cheney. That's it. Adam Kinzinger, and he's on his way out. Liz Cheney's trying to fight for her seat. I don't see anybody else over there on the right and this boom buying anything.
Hey, John, if he wants to run, then he has to back off saying anything about the guns. But I guess
he's not. He's already pulled out.
Mistake. So he's
Yeah,
better for him to back out. They have.
I'm sure they're gonna dig some right-wing nut job Trump supporting Republican right out of thin air, and oh shit, are you shitting me?
Well, that's what they want.
Mm.
You know, because otherwise they threaten them if you see things our way.
That's where the money is, baby. That's where the power is. We ain't got enough money to bribe them. Do you? You got a few million laying around? It's going to take more than just one now. Come on. You're going to have to cough up some big bucks to get one of these assholes to flip on something as major as gun control. There's not enough money out there. Because the right will reach over and smite the shit out of you.
John.
There's no courage over there.
Maybe you can help them.
Yeah, my pockets are deep, ain't they?
Yeah. Well,
I'm telling you, that's the other side of this conversation is my belief, and I believe this down to the core of my freaking body, that the Republican Party and the powers that be within business, meaning big oil, big oil and gas, big pharma, all the gun manufacturers, everything, all the lobbyists. And oh shit, I forgot where I was going with that. Damn near did.
Oh, and on a
And what?
completely random side note,
Oh, Lord.
consi-
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say though that me and my friends group, the D&D campaign's been going pretty well, but beyond that, my life has been really uninteresting here in Illinois, and all this stuff that's been happening over the last several weeks just kind of put a pall on everything.
It has. It's put a sadness across our nation for good reason.
And
And
the thing is, I'm convinced the Republicans have just kind of turned into a death cult.
Oh, that's where I was going. Thank you with the death cult. That reminded me of what I was talking about how the big lobbyists, the big money, I've said this before, they are willing to hurt this country and hurt it bad so that the Republican Party can point at it and go, oh, look how terrible things are right now. Oh, my God, gas is out of the, inflation's out the roof. Joe Biden is terrible. We got to get rid of him. Elect me because I'm going to save the day. That's the kind of bullshit the Republican Party sells, but they are willing, and the oil companies right now are a prime example. You know, you see these commercials on TV all the time where it says, American energy independence is vital for independence. No shit. We don't have that because it's not designed into the system. Oil and gas is pumped out of this and put on the free market. Then the market determines the price. And then we make the gasoline determined on the price that the market just made and charge your ass out the wazoo. That's the way it works. It pisses me off that a lot of this oil and gas comes from public land. The ones that we lease to the oil companies to go in there and drill our oil and gas, public people, us, citizens, out and sell it on the open market and screw us over. It's the way it is, baby. We got in a discussion earlier here in the House that Alaska is still paying people that are born in Alaska get a residual check from that because the state makes a lot of money in oil and gas.
You know, at the end of the day, I'm convinced free market just means free to take advantage of everyone.
Free market, has become, the capitalistic system here has become it's nothing short of an oligarch system in Russia. They want your ass poor, hungry, and needing a job. You're going to fight for every little benefit you get. Meanwhile, the CEO's pay in this country has risen over the decades like you wouldn't believe. Sky high, baby, because it's all about paying. The main guy, the big CEO, he's got to get the money. And especially with things like healthcare. You go look at a healthcare company and see the amount a CEO makes in a year, and then figure out the average cost of a monthly payment for insurance for the normal family, and then find out how many people are paying their insurance just to pay him, just to pay the CEO, not to pay the doctors or all the medical shit that there's a lot of money that's just poured into his ass or her ass. That's disgusting.
One thing I realized a long time ago, and this is coming from a family full of union people, the one thing that proves that the biggest lie in American history, in my opinion, as far as like corporate free market economics goes, is the idea that these rich CEOs and assholes at the top of the food chain make these companies profitable. They don't.
No.
If the guy at the bottom if everyone at the bottom 1% of a company took 6 months vacation, the company would crash and burn in a week. But if the CEO and most of the people sitting around that board table took a 2-year vacation,
nobody would notice.
No one in the company would notice.
No. They would just keep an eye on the profit margin to make sure that they were still making it. So, yeah, they don't have to show up. Their decisions could be made over Zoom. It's ridiculous because that's what went to hell in a handbasket in this country is the disparity between what a working man gets and what the boss gets. It used to not be this great separation that we have now. We're having to fight for a minimum of $15. And in today's economy, baby, $15 an hour ain't going to get you a whole lot. It's barely going to get the bills paid. That's how come we have to fight for that. But we're still, federally, we're not there.
Well,
And
that
one
would
of
be
the
the
other
new
things,
minimum wage, John.
Yes, it should be.
Got-
It should
and
be the
one of
minimum wage. Go ahead.
one of the other things that most people don't realize in this country is that up until about the 1960s or 70s, I want to say,
All right.
most corporations in this country had to be founded for the public good. They actually had like corporate death penalties in the corporate charters themselves because the corporate charters had to be ratified by a state legislature. You couldn't just up and create a company. Most of that's no, sorry, it's early 1900s, I think, actually, when they changed this during the robber baron era, and it allowed for the massive explosion of robber barons. But you could go into court and prove that a corporation was not acting in the good faith or good, or in the well-being of the state or the country. The state could come in, seize all of their assets, kick the CEOs out on their ass, and basically turn it into a private entity within the state and hand it off to someone else who could run it better.
There's a problem, baby. And again, with taxes itself, taxing corporations with record profits from the oil companies, yeah, there should be a windfall tax. I think they're just price gouging myself. And
Aren't they
in
considered
an
human
attempt to help the
beings,
Republican
John?
Party remain in power. Huh?
John, aren't they corporations human beings? Like they look at them as human
Oh,
beings?
Citizens United. Well, of course corporations are people.
Yeah,
There are people working in corporations, so their voice matters.
there you
Yeah,
go.
that's not the workers of that company that's making the voice, baby. That's the front office, man. That's who has the voice. The people who can benefit from the donation that they're fixing to give. We I don't know.
I'd
To
like
me,
to know, John.
we've made our lawmakers into a bunch of whores. That's what they are. They'll screw around for money, baby. You give them money, they'll vote your way. I watched
I'd
the
like
whole
to know,
special.
John, who is? I'd like to know, John, who's in charge of the oil company now. Prices up here for gasoline is $4.99 for the regular unleaded, and for diesel it's like over $6
Out in California, it hit $10, I hear. In some areas, it's hit $10 a gallon. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. The way that they have refined gas
Now,
has not changed.
I-
The cost of refining the gas, it doesn't change, baby. It remains constant. Tweak here, tweak there,
John,
added it.
I think,
Go ahead.
John, there should be a big uprising in the country. People should just start going into work and start boycotting the damn gas.
You would think, but we
They
can't
were
afford to
not
do
buying
that,
it, so
Johnny.
these prices-
Poor, hungry, needing a
It's
job means that
crazy.
you better show up every day. You better make them hours, baby, or you ain't getting a paycheck. You don't get the paycheck, you don't pay the rent this week. You don't buy the groceries this week. You don't get the electric bill paid this week. They cut your power off. How long can a family in America stand that? You can't do it. It's hard to get the working people of this country to boycott because they have to pay the bills, baby. They have to pay the bills or they get cut off or you
Well,
don't
they're
have
paying a
groceries.
big bill. Well, John, they're paying a big bill and they have to sit there and make decisions. Well, gee, I guess like here it was on CNN. You might have seen it. There's an amusement park up the line. It's about maybe 3 minutes from where I live. It's called No Grove. And they interviewed the guys on there. The one lady said, on average, we used to go there for 26 visits a season. Now, she said, I'll be happy if I go a season. And the people at Nobles Grove, the park, I've been there years ago. I was there as a kid.
Johnny, are you breaking up on us a little bit?
he said he had to raise his prices because everything's going up.
Yes, everything's going up. That's the whole idea. They want more of your money. Bernadette, are you with us, baby?
You know,
I am.
How are you doing, dear?
I'm doing okay, man. I ain't trying to go nowhere with. I call it giraffe pussy prices around here. Okay, this it's way up there.
How much? How
Gasoline.
much up in your area now?
$7.29.
Woo!
$7.29. Down in Mendocino, on the coastline in Mendocino County, there's a little coastal town called Mendocino, and
I've heard of it.
960 there. 960. That was a couple of days ago. It's probably gone up since then. So it's right around the corner for me. That's not too far from where we live. So that's crazy. And I was talking to my son last Friday night when he came home from work. I said, dude, Dominic and I are looking at buying an e-bike. And I was telling him he should get one too, just to get back and forth to work. The money that he would save in the cost of gas all summer long would pay for the bike.
Indeed. How far has he got to go to get to work?
He's got to go 7 miles.
On an e-bike,
Yeah, that ain't shit. We do that all day long.
That ain't too bad.
Yeah. So
yeah.
We're looking at that option just to, we as humans have got to adapt to this whole climate change thing, or else we're not going to make it, guys.
I don't think we're going to.
We have to adapt.
I don't think we're going to. I don't know.
John, it's been so chill on the weather-wise up here. We had rain today and last night, and it's still in the mid-60s or somewhere around there, high 60s. Today, it stopped raining. The sun is trying to come out, but it's cloudy. So the ground has been cool, and it hasn't been planting season. Well, the other day I knew the rain was coming Friday. That's why I missed your live. I was in the garden planting seeds and getting this rain to water them, because then I don't have to pay for water to water them. So I got my garden in, and dropping seeds, dude. I'm gonna be dropping seeds for the next couple of weeks. Just try to get something to grow.
But I don't know what I missed, but you're right, Alpha Dog. I can't read that fast. I try to keep up. Somebody said something, I guess, and I guess I missed it. You're right, Bill Jones. At $2 a gallon, the gas companies would still make billions of dollars.
Yeah, they would.
They would.
It's crazy.
They would still make a
profit. It's
profit.
crazy what they're doing right now.
Right now, they're buying back stock.
I'm looking at other ways to get around without having to use gasoline. And if that's an e-bike, okay, I'm good with that.
Yeah, but I'm like, the closest store, well, the Dollar General is about 5 miles away. That's the closest store there is to me. And now if I want to go to the grocery store, well, then we're talking probably about a 20-mile one-way trip. So, there's not much choice I have for people that live out in the country, and you do.
I hear you. Hey, I'm 7 miles downhill.
I got
and
tomato
7
blooms
miles coming back uphill. Okay, on the way back home.
I got tomato blooms.
Right on.
I got blooms on my tomato plants. So yep.
Wow.
Right on.
I'm just waiting. I'm trying.
I got
trying. Here's the problem in my garden.
Now, I will tell you one thing, being a gardener, that this year has me extremely concerned. And having spent the last 2 weeks out in the garden, I haven't seen any bees. I have plenty of flowers already in bloom. I have herbs already in bloom, and usually they're all over them by now. I have not seen one bee this year. Yeah, that concerns me.
I'll try to chase some your way, but yeah, I got bees.
Okay.
I got bees. Thank goodness. They're buzzing around my plants. Here's my problem in my garden. Since we're on the green thumb here, real quick, planted tomatoes. We got the peppers growing. Like I told you, I like my salsa garden.
Yeah.
We planted some stuff, and we forgot what was in that bucket. And I'm saying I thought it was either rosemary or thyme, because I remember saying something about the song when I planted it, but I don't know which one it is. Marcia says no, she thought it was parsley, but no, it's not parsley because it's a broadleaf. Anyway,
Okay.
I said, I don't care what it is. Take a leaf of it, throw it in the spaghetti sauce, and it'll be just fine.
Hey, take a leaf of it and chew on it. You'll
Sure,
know what it
you'll
is.
find out what it is.
Oh yeah.
So
You'll know
yeah.
what it is.
Oh, it's doing real
You know?
good, but we just forgot what the hell it was.
They
It's
all look
Rosemary,
different.
thyme,
So
bay. I don't know.
yeah, they all look
It's some
different.
kind
So
of leafy
you'll
thing.
know.
So
You'll know if it's real leafy. I'm gonna go with the. Would you say parsley or?
well, it's not parsley. I know what parsley looks like. This ain't parsley.
Okay.
This parsley is a like almost like a fern-like look.
Well, rosemary and thyme are, thyme's got the really tiny little leaves on it.
Oh yeah.
So you would know that rosemary is like a sprig. They're long and sticky.
No, we're talking about a
And
big leaf.
what else did you say it
A
was?
bay leaf? I don't
Bay
think.
leaf
I
is
don't remember bay leaf.
A tree.
I'll chew some.
So
I'm gonna chew some. I'll chew some, and if I don't die, then
well,
we'll
if
know.
it's an herb,
we'll know
you're not
it's
gonna
fake.
die.
We'll know it's some
But
kind
you'll
of
know
food.
the flavor of it. Yeah.
Hey, just
Yeah.
make sure it's not rhubarb because the leaves are poisonous, but the stalks are edible.
Yeah, I guarantee you, I didn't plant any rhubarb. No
Yeah, I hear you
rhubarb
on
in
that
my-
one.
no
I
rhubarb in
didn't
my garden.
plant rhubarb either.
Yeah, no, ain't going there.
Oh, it's good in pie. My mom
Hey,
used to
hey,
make
hey, hey.
rhubarb pie.
Yeah, okay. We won't fuck up a pie with rhubarb.
Yeah,
We'll go
yeah.
with the strawberries, but we ain't putting no rhubarb in
I'm
there,
pretty-
okay?
Oh, you don't know what you're missing.
Pretty cautious
I'm
about
I'm
what
good.
I add with the
I'm
word
good.
pie.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So I was ecstatic to get some seeds dropped and some things in some dirt, and my garden's coming along. I'm condensing it down this year, and I didn't have to water, being that we're in a drought. Yeah, I'm cool.
Well,
Jeanette's got
Bernadette, you might
squash,
have to
beans,
hand
cucumbers,
pollinate your
melons, and
plants.
cabbage, etc., and all doing well. Good.
I was gonna say, Bernadette, you might have to hand pollinate your plants if you don't get
Is
any
it
bees.
partial?
Dude, I will
parsley.
go out there
Maybe.
and make
Maybe a little
love to
parsley.
every last single one of them, okay?
Yes, you would.
Mm.
Hey,
Now,
I'm gonna. I have my eggplants. I gotta plant them probably.
maybe it was basil.
That could be.
It
Is
could
it
be
a small
basil.
glossy leaf? Because if you rub the leaves,
All of a
in
sudden,
there,
that word
it'll
just
smell.
pops in when my neighbor, who probably looked over the fence and saw it just now, Tracy Tobias, whose chat will come right through in just a second. Come on. This is supposed to be timed good. This is on a good show that would just magically appear on the damn screen.
It takes you a minute to get it. I
Did you
saw it.
already get it?
Yeah, I already saw
Well, I
it.
got the notification, but the little thing on the screen ain't come on. And it has not shown up over here. Anyway, she just made a donation, and we're all sitting here waiting for it to come. I can't, oh, wait a minute. I know what to do here. Make up our time with that bullshit. Tracy Tobias came in with a $2 donation and said, basil? Maybe so.
Yeah,
Isn't basil
yeah.
a
Basil is a leaf. It's a broader leaf than all the rest
see,
of them.
see, don't come up here dinging the bell now. We waited for your ass. Now look at, oh, it's my
Yeah,
Jenny.
there it is. It
There it
finally
is.
showed
I
up.
think,
She
I
finally
think
showed
they're
up.
using spaghetti too.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Really
It may
good.
be basil. Because all of a
Okay.
sudden that word I'm thinking, yeah, but I sang the song Rosemary and Thyme. Maybe I threw in the word basil too. It's
Okay.
a thing.
It's a good Italian dish. They use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A lot. Yeah.
Basil, you need basil to make pesto. Let's get some basil growing on. Yeah, let's do that.
So
Yeah, I got some basil seeds in there. I need to go drop them too.
that's the importance of getting your garden ready for the big insurrection that's coming in 2024. You know they're going to wipe
Hey.
out half the country, so you're going to have to be growing your own potatoes here now.
Well, you do know.
Yeah.
You do know also. You can root basil in water.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
But
Easy to
you
grow.
know, it's a really easy plant to grow from seeds. So if you
Yeah.
got seeds, just drop the seeds. If you got a plant,
Yeah.
yeah, you can root it.
I
And,
have a whole pack. I have to plant some.
right on, right on.
Yeah.
You can never have too much basil.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear to God, the one herb I love more than everything is thyme, because you can never have too much thyme.
And we never have enough time.
Exactly. That's why I always say I need more time.
No shit.
Need more
Miss
time.
Nomad just said that DeSantis threatened to fine the Special Olympics $27.5 million for requiring the USA Games in Orlando to be vaccinated against COVID. That threat caused the organization to drop the mandate. Are you shitting me? Are you?
Well, there's
shitting
something else too he did down in
Yeah,
Florida. What was
he's
it?
taking money away from what is it, a hockey team or some kind of
Yeah, 'cause
sports team.
They said something. What was it?
They
objected
supported
to-
gun control,
Yeah.
so
And
he
so-
just cut the money right off. You know,
Can you
that-
imagine?
that's-
He came out against Disney because they said don't say gay.
I'm right there with you,
and,
Tracy.
Jesus Christ, this man, Big Johnson, he is a piece of shit. I'll say it for you.
Oh, excuse me.
And hopefully, Florida will wake up and get rid of his ass. But we were talking about Florida. Trump's ass is moving to New Jersey, so.
Oh God! Don't
Really?
say that.
Lord have mercy.
Is that
Yeah.
the word? He's moving to New Jersey?
Yeah, because Bedminster's there and he ain't got to pay rent there, so because he's a
Hey,
fucking.
maybe he'll try to start the casinos up again that he ran into bankruptcy.
You can hear any kind of story, and somehow when you hear the story, you think, God, excuse me. In my own defense, I am smoking my Canadian tonight. This is a Canadian. I bought this pipe in probably 1972. It was the first pipe that I ever smoked in a smoking contest, a pipe smoking contest, and I smoked I think it was just under an hour. I think I was at like 58 minutes without it going out. And, but it has
Oh,
a
John.
huge bowl.
John, I just wanted to make sure
What?
it wasn't me getting you all choked up.
Yeah, that's what it was, Johnny. Anytime you come in the room, I get all choked up, don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Okay.
Well, John, I will let you know we have another guest in the audience that got her hand up, so maybe
Oh,
we
yeah.
might
Well, let's
want to bring her
let's-
in.
let's see if we can get Ardessa up here. Let's
She's a
see.
good one. Yeah. That's
Hello,
her and
Ardessa.
Eric's good.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How is Dan?
He's still in the hospital
Oh,
and not
darling.
much different.
Oh, well. We'll give him our best when you go in to see him, dear.
I will do that. Oh, and the gas thing?
Yeah? How
We
much?
have trips around here who don't even have the lights on with the prices. They turned them all
Wow.
off.
Really?
Wow.
So I don't, right now, I don't know how much our gas is.
So it's a crapshoot.
Well,
They just
they
kind
can
of
have it
like,
on the pump.
they
Yeah,
hand
they
you
have it
this
on the
paper
pump.
that hands over your firstborn child or something like that. I don't know. You have to read
No,
the
I
sheet
think
first.
they should give out like little packets of Vaseline when you go
Yeah.
in there and pay for
No
your gas.
shit.
They just hand you a little packet of Vaseline because you're going to be taking it hard.
Right up the wazoo.
Well, that
Yeah.
I swear, that's how come I do. I think it's a Republican plan because when you raise gas prices this much, immediately it's going to impact everything because everything is
Yeah.
shipped by truck. Every item that we pay at the store now has gone up in price. We've talked about this before. My sausages went from 8 to 11 something now. It ain't never going back down to 8. It's going to stay up there. This is going to hurt a lot of people, and
Yeah.
and it's on the back of corporations making record profits, including other companies down the pike that again see an opportunity to have a price raise that increases their profit share, and by the time it gets down to your ass, it's you're the one pulling the money out of the pocket, and so it's
John?
hurting.
One thing that a lot of people don't seem to correlate is with everything that's going on right now is, okay, the French aristocracy prior to the French Revolution and the National Razor, the difference between the upper 1% in France and the poorest person in France was about 86-1. Currently, the divide between the richest 1% in our country and the lowest person in America is sitting at roughly about 216-1, if I remember correctly.
216 to 1.
Wow,
For
I
every
was
dollar
gonna
you
say
make, they
maybe
make
90 or
260.
And
Wow.
Yeah.
and that's a conservative estimate. That's only counting the people who house their money in the U.S.
And what
If you
happened in
count,
French history? Something about La Bastille?
yeah, but the other part about that people don't also tend to conveniently forget is that France, prior to the French Revolution, had heavily invested in laissez-faire capitalist economics, a la the capitalists that were coming out of out of Elizabethan England. Basically, the invention of capitalism as we know it in laissez-faire economics.
Capitalism, in its ideal, it is fair. I mean, it's the right for a person to be able to go into business and to make money for his family. That's capitalism. Anybody should be able to charge for his labor or his product and be able to profit from that.
That's actually not that's not capitalism according to the definition of the actual people who invented it. That's just trade economics. You can have any kind of trade economics you want to. But capitalism is specifically making 90% or more of your income from passive generation income sources such as stocks, investments, or venture capitalism. The original corporations and capitalism as we know it were invented by the Elizabethan English throne as a means for the British royal family to dip their hands into trade economics and ensure they got a cut.
Let's see
Because
where
you
else.
had to get it. Because you had to get a writ of corporate rights from the Queen, if I remember what it was called, that basically stated that in exchange for having sole monopoly over this particular thing, you would ensure the royal family would get a 10% cut.
So,
And-
greed.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Greed.
Yes.
That's what capitalism is, based on greed. How much we can get
Yeah.
out of our product. Or,
Well, today's
go ahead.
today's capitalism seems to be like
Sounds like you're breaking up, Johnny.
I got, let me see, Dave Hart just said, not quite right for the definition of capitalism, an economic and political system in which a country's trade and industry are controlled by private owners for profit rather than by the state. That's what I'm,
Yeah.
well, that's what we have now. We have an economic and political system that is just merged into one. One just feeds the other. It's like a perpetual.
We have a political system that is persuaded by economics. Let's put it that way. Okay.
I think pretty
Did you hear
outright
what
bought.
Elon Musk said, and then what Biden said back to him? Elon Musk said that he was going to cut 10% of the Tesla workforce
Yeah.
because he has a super bad feeling about the economy,
Really?
and then
That's going to help, huh?
That's ridiculous.
Biden clapped back a couple of days later and told him, he said, lots of luck on your trip to the moon, dude.
Yeah. He's gone. Elon Musk, I guess, has gone to the right.
Yeah.
He's gone Republican.
Oh, well, yeah, he did that when he moved down there to Texas.
Yeah. I don't know how
Yeah,
the
he
hell
did.
that happened. Let me
John.
send a few thank yous out real quick. Sheila Y. Love Sunsets came in with a $5 donation. It said, I have herbs, plants indoors because the deer. Right now I have basil, sage, and thyme growing. Oh, see
There
there?
you go.
Got a whole herb garden growing right there inside the house, which you could probably do in
Absolutely.
your window. And Gene,
Absolutely, you can do it in your window.
Yes.
You could grow tomatoes in your window if you want
yes,
to.
anywhere there's
Yeah.
sunshine, baby, you can get it. Let me get one more. Gene Prim came in with $10 donation and said, I thought there was a time when price gouging was against the law. Well, I don't know if it was against the law. They say it was against the law, but it just keeps happening, so I don't know. I think it's one of them laws they don't pay attention to. We have to prove it. You go ahead, Ascar.
And what I was saying about the French Revolution earlier is if you actually look at a bunch of the socioeconomic stuff going on in France at the time, the main reason the French people were starving is because of absentee landlords and the last vestiges of the serf system. and the implementation of laissez-faire economics. They were literally exporting everything they could get their hands on to make as much money for the upper 1% as possible and leaving the tenant farmers to starve.
Well, that's not a good situation. And what was the response from the French? Let them eat cake?
The funny thing about that is the very same system that led to the French Revolution is also the exact same system that roughly about 40 or 50 years later led to the Great Famine in Ireland. And we're
history
seeing a lot of
itself if you don't learn from it.
And they're basically doing the same thing here in the United States today. It's just they're going about it through different means, because during the serfdom eras, the main way that you paid your rent was you turned over your crops to the landlord or his representative, and then they'd sell them at market. At any point, if you suddenly started making the system more productive, like if you started improving the land you lived on, yeah, and then they would evict you and bring someone else in at a higher rent level.
Seems like that's always been rigged for a particular class of people. And that's where we are now. Nothing has changed, really. Like I say, keep you poor, hungry, needing a job. Your wages are barely keeping you ahead of the game, if at all ahead. For a lot of people, you're just treading water, baby. And I find myself in there every month. I'm looking at my bank account going, no. How many more days? 20 more days? Oh, shit, ain't going to make it. You know? And so many people are like that. And it's not a fair system. It's not for the benefit of the people, for the working man. This is wholly to benefit the upper crust.
And like one of the things that the whole thing about them calling it the Irish potato famine is really misleading, because it wasn't just that the Irish were growing potatoes and that caused them to all start starving. Ireland in and of itself, during the era of the Irish potato famine, produced enough food to feed most of the United Kingdom and all of her territories.
Wow.
As part of their landlord system and the rent-paying system I told you about under the vestiges of serfdom, they were forced to export 98% of all food grown in Ireland. It was the breadbasket of the United Kingdom. But the average, the average British farmer was a serf. They were basically like when you buy an apartment and you get a refrigerator, that was a serf under serfdom. They came with the land when you sold it. They were essentially indentured servants tied to the farm. And if you didn't pay your rent, you were at will employed by your lord, basically, your landlord. And if you missed a single payment, they could kick you out with no notice.
Are we in a different place right now? Asgard, are we in a different place right now? No. We're in the same place. Don't pay your rent, you get your ass thrown out. Where are you going to live?
Yep.
On the street, just like all the other homeless people do. They give a shit? Not really. You're not paying any taxes. You don't have enough money for a donation to your local political politician or whatever. So, no. You get sucked into that category of, well, we got a problem with that, and one day we're going to fix it. It's bullshit.
Yep. And the main reason why the Irish potato famine was so bad for the Irish is because most of them lived off potatoes because they were a cheap staple food and are one of the few foods known to humanity that you can subsist solely off of. And because they were not a productive and high-value commodity, the landlords had no interest in taxing the shit out of them. So the Irish would grow them in little tiny plots of land around their farms and use the rest of their farmland throughout the year to make grain and corn and all the other stuff, which was then forcibly exported by the British government. And when the potato blight came through, the British government is like, fuck it, you've still got taxes to pay, and left the Irish to starve, whereas that potato blight affected pretty much every country on Earth at the time. The only country that had a mass famine where they lost 3 million people was Ireland, specifically because of laissez-faire economics and the corporate landlord class.
3 million?
Yeah. The Irish at the time of the Irish potato famine had a population of 9 million. They just
Wow.
hit 5 million people in Ireland in 2018 for the first time since the potato famine.
Holy moly.
The things you
John?
learn, baby. Yes, dear.
We do have another member in the audience.
I know.
With
I
their
clicked
hand
on
up.
her. I know. I already clicked her. I'm gonna do it again. She turned green. She's just not coming up here. Hey, Miss
Okay.
Linda, gotta accept that, baby.
Shh. You know, sometimes
too
Miss
green.
Linda she gets discorded. She might have to go out and
She
come
might
back
have to
in.
go out and come back in. Yeah.
Try
I
it all
clicked on
over
her just a
again.
minute ago and been waiting on her to come up.
Yeah.
While we're waiting, let me thank Sheila Y. Love Sunset. Come back with another $5 that said, I grew cherry tomatoes in my window last year and plan to grow it again this year. See,
There you
I'm
go.
telling you, baby. Thank you so much for that, Sheila. Yeah, you can grow food in your window, right outside your door, in pots and stuff. You know, it's not that hard to grow a few things. The best thing about you're not going to grow enough to sustain yourself for a whole freaking year. But what you do grow,
but you could supplement your income.
you can supplement. Yes. You're driving to
That's the
town.
way I
There's a
look
sign
at
out
it.
there. There's a sign that says
Whatever
produce.
I ain't buying in the store, I'm supplementing my income with some food in my yard. Okay.
Yeah, and you get that satisfaction that you grew it yourself. It tastes
Absolutely.
just a little bit better when you grow it yourself.
Absolutely.
Yes, can't get any fresher.
And
Hello.
one of the reasons I brought up the landlord thing in Ireland, though, is also because it does correlate to today. I think that kind of mentality within everything else going on is one of the main reasons we are having so many problems in this country, because it led to the same kind of the troubles in Ireland were a direct result of this laissez-faire economic system and absentee landlords basically slumlording an entire country to the point where the people felt like they had no power, and then they just it basically started a small-scale civil war that lasted for 70 some odd years.
Well, that's what I don't want happening here. And it seems
that's what
to
worries
me
me.
that there is a pretty good sized population on the right that would just as soon have another civil war than anything else. That threaten this next 2024 election if it doesn't go their way. Oh, Katie bar the door. You know, these are fake patriots. These are people who are in a cult that worship one man, and there's hardly anything we can do with them. Let them have their pity party over there. It's the rest of us that have to stand up and take control of this shit. Somebody has to be the adult in the room, and that's going to be us.
Yep.
Yep.
You know, we
Got
don't
that
have.
right.
Yeah. It
Hey,
has
John,
to
you
be
know
us.
what I
Yes,
did
dear.
today?
Huh? What?
I voted.
Did you?
Voted. Yes, we have
Cool.
vote by mail here in California. Awesome.
Outstanding.
We have this wonderful system called ballot tracks that if you sign up for it, they will let you know when they mail you your ballot and when to expect it. They will let you know when they'll even call you and tell you. They called me and said, hey, you know, we sent you that ballot. You don't forget to turn it in. Like
Yeah.
a little reminder to vote. And they will contact you and let you know when your ballot is received and when it's
See?
counted.
What
That's
an easy
wonderful.
system. You as a voter know the whole process and how it's going all the way
Yep.
down the tube.
And I could track my ballot the whole way through the process. It's a great system. I you know, they did it last year. I like it because you know, before in the past I have called the county registrar to find out, hey, shouldn't I have my ballot by now? So this is a great system. And check it out. It works. It's all automated and it works. It
Boy,
works.
howdy shit.
Wonderful.
Mm-mm-mm.
That's so good.
I'm sorry, say that again?
That's so good.
Yeah, it is good. You know, so all these Republican governors out there and with their bullshit, we already have systems in place. Several states are like this, and it already freaking works, and we've been doing it for years. So come on with your bullshit. You're lying
All
to
the
people.
states need to do that.
You're
All
lying
of
to
them.
people.
Mm-mm-mm. That's what
Yes,
I'm
every
worried
single
about.
state needs to do that.
Dave Hart just made a comment that our leadership is flirting with a major eruption caused by the serfs being in such a bent-over position that they can't take it anymore. That's us, the serfs. That's us. When we
Yeah.
get, yeah. That's what happened in
Sure.
France with when they had the revolution. They couldn't take it anymore. They were under such a burden. It was difficult just to live. And that's I worry about. That's the society we're building now. Is we're damn near lucky if you got a house, if you have an apartment, if you have shelter, because there's a whole lot out in our country that don't. It bothers me. A lot of those people are veterans. That's what really gets me sometimes. Is how can we let any veteran sit on the street? But baby, they're out there. They're out there every day. And people who aren't veterans, but are just, they're citizens. They're people. You know, that are hungry, that don't have a place to sleep. And we discussed the massive profits that corporations are making. And there's no benefit to the society that we don't have to pay out the wazoo for. You know,
And the
it-
part
it's-
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and the part that gets me is us asking for a living wage and them to actually make fair laws is us asking nicely. They don't seem to understand that there are other ways this shit could be handled. I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying that history has shown there are multiple different ways we can handle this shit as a society. Us telling them we need a living wage, unions, and to be respected and represented by our government is the nice way of handling
Being
this.
represented by our government would be a nice place to start, because we are supposed to be a nation of the people, and for the people, and by the people, and all that good shit they sold us.
Yeah, all the
You know.
people, not just some of them.
No, all of us.
Yep.
And
Every single one.
and we have let lawmakers over the decades change the laws to a degree that it does benefit the wealthy, those that already have. It's going to make them have more. The laws, like I say, all the time, that big old thick tax book that we have, yeah, that wasn't written for your ass. There's a few paragraphs in there, little crumbs they throw you to make you feel like you're going to get something good. Most of that tax code is written by corporations to implant little loopholes in there so they don't have to pay taxes. Hence, record profits at the gas companies and no taxes. We see it time and time again. They used to tax corporations. They used to tax the wealthy at a pretty high percentage. And they were still wealthy even after paying that high tax rate. And it benefited the society as a whole, which made everybody happier. And a happier country and a better country and all that good shit. But we don't want to do that anymore. Now we're no different than Russia with their oligarch system. There are billionaires in this country. I always like to point out Betsy Ross. How many? 8 or 9? I don't know. Yachts.
Yeah.
Yachts.
How many yachts do you
How
need?
many
How
yachts
about
do you
Joe
fucking
Manchin that
need?
lives in his yacht
Yeah,
in D.C.,
and
okay?
drives his
Drives a
Maserati.
Maserati.
Come on,
Okay.
man. You want to just shove it in people's face? Really, of West Virginia. Your senator lives on a yacht and drives a Maserati. While
Because
you
he's a coal baron.
Yes. His business is coal. So his vote is going to be to
Renewable.
benefit the coal companies.
You gotta wonder exactly how much taxes he pays too. I bet you hardly nothing, if any.
Oh, I
Zero.
guarantee you they got
Zero.
every
Come on.
deduction you could possibly
Does
think
Joe
of.
Manchin look like he pays taxes?
No, Joe
Or do you
Manchin
think
doesn't
he
look like he's
votes
hurting a bit.
Republican?
But let's be fair. I don't think there's a single congressman or senator.
No, that's why they wrote these tax laws.
That is
The
not a
tax laws
millionaire.
are not for you and me.
If you were not a multimillionaire before you went into Congress, maybe you are now. That's the sickness of our government system, is that we allow the wolves to protect the henhouse. We're letting Congress determine the laws on how they govern themselves.
Yeah, that's ridiculous, don't you think?
It is. Well, should we be allowed to make $1 million on a day on insider trading on the stock market? Well, you betcha. Go ahead and help yourself. Of course, and they are in position to know things, to be able to position their money. So yeah, they just get richer and richer and richer, and pretty soon that piddly-ass congressman pay ain't that much. It's a pittance. We'll take it, but it's not my main money maker, So,
John, the thing that gets me is when I heard it was going to be the 20s again in this century, and I was going to get to live through it. I thought we were going to get good jazz and flapper dresses. I didn't think we were going to end up with the plague, the Spanish flu 2.0, with fucking robber barons in the Gilded Age.
Hey,
and yet here we are.
Ashgard,
Yeah.
I would really like to see you in a flapper dress.
I wear the kilt, but flapper
Da,
dress.
da, 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 da. Yeah, I want to see that too.
That would be
A
interesting.
little fringe
gonna be
going on
interesting
there,
to
are you
see.
okay?
What entertainment that would be.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm telling you. Let me see.
I'm more of a tailcoat and a kilt kind of guy.
You're a kilt kind of guy?
Yeah,
Okay.
my family's part of Clan Lindsay out of Aberdeenshire, Scotland originally.
Well, my family's from Switzerland, so I guess I'd be wearing what? One of them little suspender outfits. And yeah. Hello, Miss Linda.
Howdy, Henry.
How you doing, darling?
It's fine. Okay.
That's pretty fine, baby. That's pretty fine. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad
Thank
you're
you.
back in the country,
Thank you.
out gallivanting around having a fine time, whilst all of us was back here doing.
$6.
She was at the strawberry
$6.
festival. Oh my God.
She went to a
Yeah.
strawberry festival.
She went to the
Yeah,
strawberry.
7 days. They made me go 2 days early
Boy,
Oh wow.
to get set up.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was.
We have one here in
Right on.
Texas, the Poteet Strawberry Festival. Poteet is where they grow most of our strawberries here in Texas.
Right on.
This isn't really a strawberry festival. Called the Strawberry Festival because it was once held at Leland Meadows, which is the town of Strawberry,
Ah,
108, California.
Okay.
But then we moved it to Camp Mather, so that didn't even fit anymore anyway, but they still kept the name.
I love me some
So there you
strawberries.
go.
I love me.
Yeah,
some
my
Yeah.
strawberry. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
been
See,
something
my
done
strawberries.
outside.
Strawberries and chocolate ice cream is wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all are making me hungry.
I have a whole patch of strawberries that I have to dig up. The crabgrass has gotten in there, and they're trying to choke them out. So I got to go out there and move those
See
bad
there?
dudes.
How easily we slide
Yeah.
from politics to gardening. What a family!
I
What a
know,
family!
it's something.
Hey,
I'm telling you.
before I got heavy into politics with you, John, that's where I was.
That's where you
was in
were.
my
See, I
garden.
came wrong and
Yeah.
ruined your life. Is that what you're
Yes,
telling
you
me?
Did. Yes, you did.
I understand, darling.
I
Ruined my
I
life
am
too.
desperately
That
trying to
man
get
came
back
into
out
our
there.
life and it ruined my
How
life.
dare you?
Oh man.
You know. So, touche to all of us, I guess. Look what he
Yeah.
did to us. Look what that man did to us.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
thank God his ass is gone for the moment.
Thank God,
Okay.
Greyhound. He's
Um,
yeah.
And come
It's
on
our
with
job
the
to keep his
January
ass
6th.
out.
Let's get these hearings going on.
We need,
Somebody shut him up.
you know, this November. This is the key. This is going to be the deciding factor for everything. Whether or not we maintain and increase our power in the Senate and maintain control of the House, or if we turn this over to them, Katie, bar the door, baby. This is not going to be pretty. And things in this country are going to get a whole lot worse. That's what I worry about. I really do. This election is going to be so important, and the outcome is going to determine the future of this country for a long time to come. I'm afraid if they get back in there.
Friends moved to Thailand.
Move to China?
No, I had 2 friends move to Thailand.
Oh,
Thailand.
Thailand. Beautiful
Yeah.
country, baby. I've been to
Yeah,
Thailand.
it
It's
is.
a beautiful country. I love Southeast Asia. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous
Tea's
country.
done.
But the poles are melting.
Yeah. Yeah, as a matter of fact, that's here in the news lately in the way of the Outer Banks out in North Carolina and stuff,
Yeah.
where these homes are just crumbling into the sea, where it used to be like 200 yards from the water's edge,
Yeah.
and now the water's under it, baby. And these homes are crumbling into the sea.
We've
And-
had it here. We have it going on here, and erosion is a serious thing when you're on
Yes.
the ocean, man. It is a serious thing. And
yeah.
you know,
Water
we
is
gotta
very
have
powerful,
BDF.
guys.
Water
Yeah.
is power. I mean, it's, 2/3 of our planet is covered with water. Come on.
Most of it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Most of it. And we know more about space than we know about the depths of the ocean, they say. Let me send out a big thank you to Madge Prime's STEM Realm, who came in with a $2 donation, and go to the Blue Dot Facebook page and check out new poster. Go to the Blue Dot Family Facebook page and check out the new poster. Well, I haven't seen it yet, but we'll have to check it out. But if you want it on Facebook, we do have John Bernabo Speaks, Blue Dot Family. It is a page. They have well over 18,000 members. So yeah, if you're on Facebook, go by there and join John Bernabo Speaks, Blue Dot Family. It's a separate group. They have their own control over there, but they're doing a bang-up job. Candy Guidry is the main moderator over there. That they do a fantastic job, and they discuss a whole lot of things over there. So yeah, if you're on Facebook, go over there and check them out. We jumped on my Facebook. I think I mentioned the other day we went from 18,000 followers on Facebook to 24,000 since I went on TikTok. TikTok's cooking.
That's excellent, John. Yeah, excellent.
I'm trying to figure out how to do TikTok live. I mean, I'm eligible to do live now. The thing is, I can't do a live show on TikTok at the same time I'm doing this live show, because we haven't been able to find out how to get like y'all's questions, y'all's part of the conversation into the TikTok, so the audience can hear you speak.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure you can either. So it's usually like a one-way thing. So the only one they'd be able to hear is me.
Yep.
But I want to sit down and turn it on and go live. And have a TikTok live, because I haven't done it yet.
That would be cool.
I think so. Like I think our last video is up to over 11,000 views the last time I looked, and the big one is like at 802,000.9, 803,000, which is I think the most.
Yeah, you can get a lot of views on TikTok.
On TikTok, you can get a whole lot of views, which is good. But TikTok, you want to keep your message down short. So
absolutely,
you want to get a quick message out there, get your point across. Then yes, I'm going to take that opportunity to try to reach as many people as
for all
can.
those goldfish that watch, TikTok with the 3-second memories. You can't make your message too long.
I'm telling you,
they got to swipe.
I got to admit, if I sit there, because like I said, I've liked a lot of dog and pony pictures. So what comes up on mine is dog and pony pictures. So I'll take a minute and flip through. Oh, look at that little golden retriever. Oh, look at this bulldog. Oh, look at this pony. Okay, I got to go. And it kind of eases my mind a little bit. But it is. There are many ways to reach people. So if any way we can, that's what we're going to do. Because
I love cat therapy on TikTok.
Yeah, Marcia does too. Marcia just sit over there for...
Like, my Facebook is convinced I'm an 86-year-old cat lady that likes knitting and DIY crafting at this point.
Hey, you can learn some stuff on there, too. I've learned quite a few things. Oh, what did I learn? Just the other day, this lady made a big old pan full of scrambled eggs. That's the way it is. Look at that, all these scrambled eggs. How many eggs is that? One. One egg, she made enough scrambled eggs to feed several people there. Well, how did you do that? It was really neat. You take one egg, and then a little bit of milk, about the same, about 50 to the egg. Just doesn't take much milk. And then a spoon, a heaping tablespoon of pancake mix. You throw it in there, and you mix it up, and it's pretty liquidy. So it's pretty liquid, and you pour it into a frying pan, and it acts just like scrambled eggs. You scrape it around the pan, and it just starts to cook, and it looks like scrambled eggs. Tastes like scrambled eggs, it said. Of course, you can't taste it on TikTok.
I could see that.
I could too. I'm going to try it just for shits and giggles.
There's a tip. There's a tip to stretch them eggs out.
That's it. Cost of eggs is up too.
Yeah,
everything is up. So yeah, my first thought was, I wonder how many restaurants I went into and they ordered eggs and they brought me some pancake dough.
Hey, you would be surprised.
Hey, I would put salsa
John.
on it and I'm good to go. Yeah.
Let me tell you something. They get powdered eggs in a heartbeat. Okay.
I've eaten them plenty of my life, baby. I'll tell you.
Ooh-wee.
Yeah. Diego Garcia. Look it up on your map and find out where that is. Everything you're eating there is powdered, baby, in one form or another. You're not eating anything that's fresh on that island. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, eggs. The cost of eggs is going up just like everything else. That's the pressure that our society's under right now, with the inflation that is going, with people hurting as much as they are now.
Yeah, we got to stretch them nickels and dimes.
Well, that's what the Republicans are banking on. That people are hurting, and that's how they're going to win. They're going to point their finger right at Joe Biden and the Democrats and say, "Look here, you look at what you're paying." And
it would
like
be
I said,
nice
the oil
to say
companies
that
and
this
gun
is
companies, they're
Joe
more than happy
Biden's
to
fault,
help.
but you know what? I follow people who are up in Canada, and their gas prices are just as high, and so are people over in England.
Over in Europe.
Yeah,
they're paying more than we are, and have been.
Yeah.
Yes, in America we buy.
And when people get hungry, they ain't trying to listen to none of them fuckers, man. And let's not forget who killed 1 million people in this country.
That's right, Teresa. Teresa Rojas, you can't eat eggs without salsa. I think it's the law. Look it up in Leviticus. It's in there.
Let's not forget who's voting against gun control right now. And who's allowing... John, 8 since last Friday? 8 mass shootings since last Friday?
Since Friday. That's just this weekend.
That's
Philadelphia,
crazy.
Arizona, got them popped like popcorn all over the country. It is crazy.
It is crazy. Up the NRA? It's the Republican Party. We just need to keep pounding that. Actually, the economy is not as bad as, Biden just got another 300,000 jobs.
Yes. The job market's doing fine.
Mainstream media does not tout the things that Biden has done.
No, as a matter of fact, mainstream media is pissing me off because every time I listen to them, they keep telling me, the chance of the Republicans in the midterm looking great. Fuck you. Who the hell? Yeah. And they're always climbing up Biden's ass, like for the gas prices. If any president could control gas prices, we'd always have cheap gas.
Jared Kushner going over there and making deals with Saudi Arabia and all the rest of them.
I'm glad.
Let's talk about
I'm glad
that.
that Congress is also going to start a little investigation into his shit. How much he got from Saudi Arabia?
They need to.
It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if we find out the reason the gas prices are going up is because Kushner made a deal with the Saudis to jack up gas prices.
Absolutely. He also made a deal with his little buddy, Ben Slice and Dice.
Mohammed Ben Slice and Dice. That in itself pisses me off. I have said forever, Saudi Arabia is not our friend.
That's the reason why we're struggling.
That's going to come back and bite us on the ass.
We're struggling because of the China shutting down. China going on lockdown and fucking up the supply chain. Once we got it rolling again, they went and they shut down for 6 weeks or so and fucked up the supply chain again. Why isn't the news reporting that shit? Because inflation shit is going worldwide. It's not
It is. It's not just
thing.
affecting this country. The war in Ukraine, with Ukraine and Russia both being a big supplier of grain.
Ukraine is the bread basket.
Yeah, that's what they say. Of the world.
Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That they export more grain than anywhere else.
They grow sunflowers.
Yes.
Guess what's going to go up? Sunflower oil.
Anything with sunflower oil, which look at the ingredients on everything, it's in a lot of stuff.
Everything. Everything with sunflower, because there's going to be a shortage of sunflower. There's going to be a shortage of wheat.
And all of that is going to make the prices
This is not Biden's doing.
No.
That's correct.
No, like I said, if presidents could affect it, we'd always be paying cheap prices all the time, because every president would try to just outdo the last guy and say, I can do it for cheaper. But we don't get that. This is a game. That's what the whole title of this show was tonight. This is a game of a game of thrones, you could call it. The throne of whoever sits on the oil and gas, the big pharma, the big
It's
gun.
corporate greed.
It
It's
is corporate greed, baby, and that's what drives our country. You know, it's just, our society. It seems like it's all designed for people who are upper middle class and more. You know, I don't see a world that is advertised for the working man. I don't. You know, go get on your cruise and go to a cruise to Jamaica. Nobody I know is going on a cruise to Jamaica. You know, we're not taking a leisurely trip anywhere. You know, so many people are just on the edge. You know, every month. If it weren't for the donations that we receive in this family from this show, then no, baby, I'm not making it. Something's not getting paid. And usually the hit there is your groceries. Like everybody else, you got to pay the electric bill to cut your ass off. You got to pay the car payment or you ain't going to have no wheels.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
everything suffers, and the last thing it's going to do is going to be your food budget. And next thing you know, you barely got any groceries, and you're looking at the calendar dreaming about what fucking day it was, your next check. But there are so many in this country that do exactly that. And that's we could do better. We could do better as a society. We look at Europe, they seem to be doing a little bit better. And they get holiday. We don't get holiday. There's no national law that says we get a time off because, you know, we're concerned about your mental health. No, we don't do that here. And let me thank I have a problem saying that. Madge Prime's STEM Realm donated $2 and said the GOP is using the Jedi mind trick on dummies. Yes. This is not the taxes you're looking for. These, please go away. These are not the wealthy people. Yeah. It's I don't see that life. You know. And I doubt very many of you have through your life lived that kind of life.
That's why I say grow some food, because we see what's coming. We see what's right here in front of our face, and it ain't getting better. I know that gas prices are going to continue to go up long before they start coming down again.
And they're going to come down very slowly. It's like the cost of that
they
sausage.
will.
It's never going to be back down to $8. It won't
No.
go there again.
No.
Yeah, I'll be lucky if I get another 20 cents off of what it is now. You know, and I'll think, oh, great, the price of sausage went down. No, it still went up. It's just like I said, using a Jedi mind trick on you. Look, the price went down. Yeah, when it went up $2 and you dropped it 15 cents, but the price went down. Okay, these aren't the droids I'm looking for. You know, what option do we have? You're going to pay for the gas, or you're not going to drive. You're going to pay for the groceries, or you're not going to eat. You're going to work for the wages offered, or you're not going to work. It's not a society built for us. It's a system built to maintain a steady flow of money to certain individuals in life, and that's it. You weren't one of them. Tough shit. Maybe in the next life. You hit the lotto and become the CEO. I don't know.
In all honesty, in my opinion, as someone who studied medieval history, and I'm not saying this lightly, I think it's a new form of serfdom and lorddom. We got rid of the kings and lords, and they just found a way to get the fuck back in.
Yeah. They're still kings and lords, but
what they keep you as a serf is that if you're in any kind of debt, you got to keep your job. So there it is.
Well,
the trick is to get the fuck out of debt.
Yeah,
That's what keeps you enslaved.
Yeah, you're not doing that either. The system isn't designed for you to get out of debt. It's designed for you to pay interest on the debt.
Well, you know what?
That's basically serfdom to an extent, because serfdom was literally just one. You would work this land, and you would owe a certain amount each year, aka debt. If you couldn't make that debt, you either got evicted, or if you tried to leave the land without the permission of your landlord, where the modern term comes from, you could either be thrown into a debtor's prison or in some cases executed.
Yep. And that's what we have now is, your job is your debtor's prison. You can't leave your job because you're in
debt. Exactly.
You say you can't get out of it. I would tell you right now, I don't owe nobody.
Freedom is just another
nothing.
word for nothing lifted. That's a song, you know.
I don't owe
Freedom.
nobody
You got
nothing.
left to lose.
And I
baby.
feel good about that.
So two things.
And
I
y'all-
have one
It
credit card
it can
and one
be done.
house payment.
I'm saying it can be done. You
It
have to
can be.
hunker down.
Because
You have to
I
sacrifice.
continually
You
have
have to
said over the
sacrifice
years,
the luxuries of life in order to do it.
I
But
consider
it can
myself
be done.
a countrywide survivor. And for those of you who remember that name, it was
Yes, I
it was
remember.
in the news.
I remember.
Many for
My
people who
sister
got
had a
screwed by the
countrywide
mortgage company. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have my house, and I guarantee you that's a fucking accomplishment after what I've been through with it. But it's still mine. But it's a monthly fight. It's mine this month. It'll be mine next month because you can't throw you out over money on 30 days. But yeah, you
Nope.
sit right on that cusp, but you miss a payment and you're in trouble, baby. And so yeah, after all these fucking years, I still got it, you know. And so
Yeah.
fuck them.
And a lot of people do. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people got fucked up in that
They
last
did.
housing market.
They did.
And,
they were
and
handing money
got
out
in-
left hand over fist.
Yep.
You know, and putting people into position that with variable mortgage rates.
Knowingly
knowingly
putting
doing
them,
it, yes.
knowing that they couldn't make those payments.
You set yourself
And-
up for a massive, you know, exodus from the housing market, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, the housing market is what it is because single family dwellings are harder and harder to come by for the American family. Most people are looking for
a lot of
condos
these
or
things,
apartments. You know.
and all of it's getting bought up by investment firms nowadays.
Yes. So
And they don't give a shit whether
if
you
you're
can pay
leasing
your
a
rent
home
or not.
renting a home, chances are it's an investment company that has that.
Yep.
That has deed to that house, and they're the ones that own the house. You're just there to keep the money flowing, keep the system going. So it's hard for a family to reach the end of that mortgage. You know, to actually gain the deed to your house before you lose it and some other sucker buys it, and then they go almost all the way, and then it just continually gets handed over, and the property continues to make money in the system, but rarely an owner, outright owner. I have hopes that I'll be able to make it, but shit, I ain't got that many years left in me, so. But yeah, it's a fight to hang on to your house and to
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's a fight to hang on to just living in America
Indeed.
nowadays, or anywhere in this world, because it's everywhere. It's
And
everywhere.
that's how come we have the problems that we have in this country with homelessness and hunger. It's because
And what are elected officials doing about it?
Yep.
Not a
Nothing.
goddamn thing.
they're having meetings. Hey, I heard they're having meetings. They're talking about things. Don't worry, they're going to talk some more tomorrow.
John,
I'm sure they're going to
tell
talk
me-
all day tomorrow.
tell me who gets 10 days off for Memorial Day?
Oh, that
Who
would
gets
be our
10
congressman.
Because they did. Our
Politicians.
Congress people did.
Yes.
Yes, they did. And shortly when they come back, they'll be in for about
How
a
many
week, and
days
then
you
they'll
get
take
off?
a summer break.
Yep.
Yeah. The amount
got
of
so much
time that a
time off.
congressman actually spends
Ridiculous.
working for the people is very little. Very little. Most of their day is tied up with trying to raise funds for their next election.
As one of my relatives said, if you really want to get rich in this world, you either need to become a pastor at a mega church or a senator.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That pastor, if
that's
you're a
all
good
right.
speaker, baby, that'll go. Oh, Lord, I got to talk about some preacher did something. I can't remember what it was. Pissed somebody
You know,
off.
and the thing is,
It's not hard to do.
I don't ever want to be. I don't care if I'm ever rich. I just want to have enough money to own a
I don't
nice
think
little house in
anybody
Colorado
wants to be
and
rich.
open a cat sanctuary.
See? And how much would that, not much to make you happy in life? There's
just
a lot of us
some-
out here that don't want to be rich. I don't want to live in a mega mansion. You know,
Yeah,
that's
like
not
don't
my
either.
style. I just don't want to have to suffer every month
No,
just to buy
You
food.
just want to live in your house.
You want to live in your
That's
house
all.
and pay your own way, but Jesus, you got to make it at least reasonable for you to be able to afford it.
No,
Yeah.
John, you're supposed to pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
That's
remember?
what it is, baby. Well, unless you're prenatal. If you ain't born yet, well, All the support in the world.
Can I get some boots?
No boots. Are you shitting me? Go buy your boots. Get you a job.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Can we build a sidewalk so I don't have to walk in the mud? No. Pull your bootstraps up. Walk in the mud. Get the fuck whatever. It's the way it has been. It's a society of those who have and have not. But we've gone to a place where the disparity between the two. It's one thing to have, enough money to have a nice life, but do we have to have it at the expense of just subsistence, just a house, food, a guarantee that you're not going to die cold in the street? If we can't do any better for that as a society, then what the fuck is society for? Just a milk cow for the rich? Just to pump the money up? I don't have 7 yachts. I bet if I was Betsy DeVos, I bet she could probably sell 3 of them yachts and donate all that fucking money to, I don't know, a homeless shelter or build fucking homes for veterans or for homeless people anywhere.
Considering how she sounded when she talked in front of the Congress, she probably had to hire someone to keep track of where those boats are because she was a fucking moron.
Yeah, she is.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, just surround me with 100 cats on like 5 acres of land in Colorado.
I'm right there, brother. I got a few acres
Sounds
here.
about
I
right.
got my animals, and really my animals, my donkey, my dogs, my cats, my bird. That provides my good feelings for the day.
I want to give cats I just want to give cats that don't have anyone else to take anywhere else to go a nice life, even if they are feral.
Well, I've said it many times. My favorite song is "It's a Wonderful World," Louis Armstrong, because that's what I try to keep in my mind. It is a beautiful, wonderful world, and it's too bad we're all trying to fuck it up, and that's what it is. And we could do so much better. We could. We see countries that do better. We're not number one on the list on a lot of subjects.
Except guns.
Yeah, guns. We're number one, baby. We're number one on guns. Ain't nobody kills more citizens every year than we do. We're number one in killing each other. And that's the sad part of what we have going on right now. 8 over the weekend. 8 mass shootings over the weekend. And yet we just cannot figure out what the problem is.
And the weekend ain't over yet.
No, nights aren't. Yeah, you're right. By the end of tonight, how many more this evening? There's no telling. But that's the world we live in, and evidently it's acceptable. I don't see how. There's no other nation in the world that would tolerate this. And it all hinges on the Second Amendment, because they've made it a godly item. It's not just it's a worshiping item. It's a god unto itself. They use it like a weapon, and it's just we've turned it into, we perverted it, is what we've done. We've perverted it. It's the lust for the gun. It's not a gun. It's an AR-15. It's a weapon of war. They don't want a 222. They don't want a 270. They want an AR-15. They want an M16 is what they want. They want a fucking tank. And if there's some asshole out there probably arguing the fact that he should have a right to own that tank because, he has 15 acres here and them guys might be coming over the fence over there. I can't shoot them with my AR-15, so I might need a tank or maybe some rocket launchers. That's the society that if we let it keep going, that's where you're going, baby. Who's got more and bigger guns? I saw an advertisement for a show that's coming up or something. A photojournalist that came to the United States before the mass shootings we've had recently, but he was doing a photojournalist documentary on guns.
Yeah.
And he did all these pictures of these people with all the guns they own laid out in front of them, and it's just utterly disgustingly American. It's utterly disgusting to have people with that many weapons in their possession, right up to and including flamethrowers, baby, because you want to make them fry.
I don't.
It's,
What I don't get as someone who was in the army is why you would even want that many firearms. If you hoarded that many magazines, a cop would show up at your door and take you in to have your head checked. And when I
if
say
you were in
magazines,
the
I'm talking
military,
like
then you
National
know what those
Geographic.
weapons are designed to do. So, you
Yeah.
know, that's what bothers me is we do have a lot of veterans that are gun nuts, and I don't understand it. I don't understand
Like,
it. I just
the only
don't.
guns I ever plan on getting in my entire life are 2 or 3 black powder firearms.
Yeah.
A black powder Pennsylvania rifle, a pistol in case the rifle shot misses,
Yeah.
and a shotgun. And I only want to use that so I can go hunt my own food because
I have a
farm-raised
50
medicine tastes
caliber
like crap.
black powder, and when you pull the trigger on that sucker, you best hold on. You best hold on for a few seconds there, because you don't know quite when it's going to go. Is it going to fire right when you pull the trigger? I don't know. Is it just going to wait a few seconds before boom? Yeah, black powders are fun, but that's what the Second Amendment was written. When that was the modern weapon of the day. Was
Yeah,
a
and
black
as my
powder.
dad used to say, if you need more than one shot to take down an animal, you're probably not a very good hunter, and you probably shouldn't be
Not
doing
probably
it
good.
anyway.
If you need an AR-15 to go deer hunting, hey, I don't want to eat that deer after you get done with it, partner. And
Really?
B, a lousy shot, man. Really lousy shot. Yeah, no, that's always been a bullshit. There's only one reason to own an AR-15 or an AK-47 or any of the other menagerie of military-style weapons, and that is to shoot people. And the people they're talking about shooting is their fellow citizens. That's the disgusting part of this crap, of the militia crowd, the whole fucking gun nut wing of our nation, is that they want to have all these guns and all the ammunition and all the clips just in case they have to kill the bad guys, and the bad guys are anybody that disagrees with their ass, which is us.
And
They're
like, the
fellow
thing-
Americans, so they can shove their patriotic bullshit up their ass. They're not patriotic. They could give a shit less about this country as a whole. Only those that agree with what they say. And that's not
And,
democracy,
John?
baby.
As
Yeah.
someone who was in the Army, I had to intimately know the history and the design specs of the weapons I used as part of like getting ready to go to a board. The average civilian does not even understand that the 5.56 round was never meant for civilian consumption. The thing is, an AK-47, what a lot of people don't realize is even in combat, unless they hit you in your head, your heart, or a major artery, that wound is probably not going to be fatal, and you're going to probably be able to get help. But if you get shot with a 5.56, you're going to suffer long, hard, and die slow.
Well,
It was designed specifically for that purpose. It was designed to fight Russia.
well, weapons of war are designed to do one thing. The AK and the AR are both mimic to the M16, which is just the epitome of what they want in a weapon. They don't want a bolt-action rifle with a scope on it. That doesn't scream Rambo. They want a military-style weapon. It could be in any fucking caliber. It could be in a 22 caliber. It could be in a 270. It could be in the 30 whatever range you want to go to, the size of the bullet. As long as the gun looks like it should be in a Rambo movie, that's the gun they want. And they want it because of a sick desire that they have, or some stupid fantasy they have in their head, that they're going to need it to protect themselves from the raving mob of who? Of who? That's the question. Us, your fellow
I'm
Americans,
convinced it's
your
a form
fellow
of-
citizens, the town you live in, the city, the state, whatever the fuck, they don't give a shit. Just shoot somebody.
I'm convinced from at least my studies and what little I know of psychology that a lot of this is a confluence of narcissistic personality disorder and an extreme victim complex and a persecution fantasy. Because most of the people I've noticed that have these massive hordes of guns are also the same kind of people who eventually end up getting outed as narcissists because they're convinced they're the focal point of everyone around them.
Well, indeed
And
they
so-
are. That's why they need so many guns and stuff. Is because to
Yeah,
protect them
they
from
don't
the hordes of
realize that no
people
one
that are
cares
after
about
them
you,
in particular.
Cletus.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
did
no
you
one
see there?
cares about you, Cletus. You're not that interesting.
Yeah,
And the FBI
yeah,
has
Bubba, you're
tapped
not
your phone.
you're not the center of the universe. Let me thank Major Prime's STEM Realm. I'm going to get it right sooner or later. Who sent another $2 donation, and I love this. Perversion of guns and Bibles equals getting rich. It is. It is. It is not the gun. It's the love affair. It's the perversion of the gun. It's we've had guns ever since gunpowder was invented. Back when the Second Amendment was written and all that, we've had guns in our society, but we don't have mass murders like we do now. We've idolized it. We've glorified it in every way we can, and we've produced people that just, that's their dream in life, is to have as many as they could possibly get, because that makes them relevant or powerful or whatever the fuck they have in their head. I don't know.
And in all
wish I
reality,
did.
if you were really that big of a problem for the government, they're not going to send a bunch of guys in you can take out with a fucking rifle. They're going to tomahawk missile your ass from a destroyer.
Hey,
and hit you
if
with
they
a
could get their
helicopter.
hands on one, they demand it. If they could use the Second Amendment to demand Patriot missile sites or tanks or whatever the fuck it is, they would use it. They would demand that they have it under the Second Amendment. Doesn't matter what it is. It's their right, God-given to them. This is God-given right. And again,
Doesn't matter.
that's what I liked about Mega Prime's Guns and Bibles. Yeah. What God and guns, and that's what the right is so ate up with, God and guns, what one has to do with the other just amazes me. How you could worship both of them. They're opposing ideas. Christianity and weapons of war don't really go together. You know, unless you're just one of those religious nuts that says either believe the way I do or I kill you. 4,200 religions in this world. Which one would you kill for? That's the t-shirt I wear. I like to wear it because it raises eyebrows. I don't care. The answer is none. Anyway, but you're right. Guns and Bibles, baby. It's easy to sell both of them, religion and God.
Need to get rid of both.
It's a product to me. Both of them are sold as a product, that you get something. And a weapon, it's power. And when it's religion, it's the guarantee that no matter what the fuck you do in life, hey, you're going to be the good guy and go to heaven with the pearly gates and mansion on a hill and, you know, all of that shit that they sell you. It's all sitting there waiting on just for you. It's just, I don't know. I don't know. It's lost, both of them. They don't go along together. They never should, and that's what they sell. Holding a Bible, waving the flag, and a gun in the other, and I don't see it. I just don't understand it. I don't see it. Anyway, that's about it for tonight, I guess. We've had a wonderful visit here. I appreciate everybody came by for good conversation. Let me see, Asgard, as always, appreciate your conversation, always intelligent. We learn a little something every time you come in the room, Bob. We appreciate it. Asgard. Okay. Ardessa, thank you, darling, for
Yes.
coming in. I hope
You're
I
welcome.
hope Dan continues to improve and gets out of the
I hope
hospital
so,
soon.
too.
Here. I know you miss him being around the house.
Yeah, I
It
do.
would just drive me crazy if Marsh was in the hospital and snow. I'd be nuts going around here, so I'm no good at that shit.
Yeah, it's no fun, that's for sure.
No, it's not. So let's hope that he improves and gets out soon. Much love to you and him, baby. Thank you for coming by. And Miss
You're
Linda.
welcome, and thank you.
Miss Linda, I'm so glad you're back, Mary Ellen. I'm so glad you had it. Miss Linda, are you in here? Well, shit, just everybody
Nope.
just gonna ignore my ass. Bernadette, are you here?
I am. Roll
Well,
credits,
thank
John.
goodness. Thank you for coming by, Bernadette. I appreciate it tremendously, always, dear.
Roll the credits, John.
Oh. God. Yeah, that's just becoming a regular bit in the show now. Let's wait and see if he hits the button. Well, I'm making a 75% odds he's not. And see, that's the way it goes, man. There should be a betting pool out here. Is John going to hit the button? Of course he's not going to hit it. And it's sitting right here. I could change the view of the camera. Oh, wait, that takes away the credits. That takes away the credits. I still have all my sounds right here. My
If your brain was donated to science, science would return it.
I like all my
There you go.
And, of course,
There you go.
we haven't gotten rid of our most favorite button.
I just need you to shut the
Oh,
fuck
I
up.
love that.
Say that immediately puts a smile on everybody's
I need you
face.
to shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up, bitch. Shut the fuck up,
Makes my
bitch.
feet move too.
That's right, Gary Spring. There is nothing on this set that is on fire right now, so I've done a good job. I miss Travis being in here, but yeah. Nothing's on fire in here, and I haven't destroyed anything, so everything is continuing to work, so I haven't screwed everything up. But indeed, thank you for reminding me to hit the... we have some new Patreon members that came in. Thank you very much. We appreciate that. $1 a month through Patreon, it helps when the numbers get that big where we can actually pay bills and stuff, and I appreciate it. And of course, to all those that donated tonight, a la carte, thank you so much. We appreciate it tremendously. It goes a long way, baby. And
thanks to everybody who participated during Super Chats tonight.
Yes.
And let's not forget that if you're watching the show after the set, you can always hit the thanks button.
That's a new thing on there. They got super thanks on there, and I did get one. I've gotten one so far, so it's under any of the videos on our YouTube channel. If you look underneath under there with the thumbs up button, and there's also a new one, and it's called Super Thanks, and you can donate $1 or whatever in there.
Yeah, okay.
And again, it goes a long way, and we appreciate it. I like to think I work hard enough for it, but I'm always going to try to be getting better, and even if it wasn't a single dime, I would still be here, giving it my best, baby.
Yes,
Because it's not about the donations. It is about November. It's about the next election. It's about where this country goes. It's why I started this.
You got
what I get?
primaries coming up on
Primary.
June 7th, next Tuesday. Go ahead and get that vote in, because we need to change.
Yes. If you still
way
have
we
primaries in
change
front of
the
you,
thing.
get out there.
We need to change.
Yes.
Is to vote. Use your voice. Use your vote.
Stick
And
your
let's
chest out when you
change
do,
this
baby.
country.
Be proud of it,
Yes.
because there's a lot of places
Absolutely.
that they're trying to keep your vote from being
3
counted.
people in my house voted tonight, so that's good. That's 3 votes.
Outstanding, baby.
Excellent.
We're ready to
Alright.
go here.
Yes.
The next election we
Yes.
have is going to be November, so I'm
Right
ready to
on.
rock and roll. I want to see Beto O'Rourke win so bad. I want to shove it
So
up
does
Greg
the
Abbott's
rest of the
butt.
country.
Oh, Beto, I think
Yeah.
Beto is what the Democrat Party needs to see in a governor or when he was congressman. He's bold enough to get up and say the things that needs to be said. In that part back when El Paso happened, when the
Yes.
shooting out there, and Beto stood up and he said, and we'll quote him, he said, "Yes, we're coming for your AR-15. Yes, we're coming for your AK-47." And now those words are ringing so true. We need gun legislation in this country. We need to raise the law, the age limit. But he's right. There's no need for assault weapons in our society. And when we do away with them, less people get killed. That's all. Fewer people get killed. I seen some guy come in at the end of the other day. He was a troll, and he had put in there. This is what this guy put in there. Well, I could kill you with a stick. By y'all standard, my weed eater's a deadly weapon. Yeah, your weed eater could kill somebody. Somebody before somebody else takes that weed eater and wraps it around your stupid head or your
you
stick
know what?
idea.
That weed eater,
What a
That
jackass.
weed eater could throw a rock and hit him
I
in
could
the
kill
head.
you with this popsicle
idiot.
stick. Yeah, let me see how many little kids you can run into a school and kill with that popsicle stick before them kids gang up on your ass. And the ignorance, the argument that comes from that side in their defense of their weapons is just so utterly disgusting and childish. Well, you know, I could
that's
kill
what we're
you
dealing
with this
on the
pipe
other
right
side.
here.
That's what we're dealing
You're not
with.
gonna
And
have a
that's
mass
why we
killing
got to
with this
get out
pipe.
and vote.
Get
so
out
we
and
can
vote.
have some competent elected officials who will not just talk about it and just
Do
do
something about it.
Zoom meetings. They
I'm-
actually do something.
I'm tired of talks. I'm tired of the meetings and the committees and all this bullshit.
Yes, I'm tired of talking too. Too
But I'm
many
really
people
looking
have
forward
died.
to the one that's going to start this Thursday. So y'all get ready to tune in for that shit.
Absolutely, got my popcorn.
Anyway, I love y'all for being
All right.
here, for being a part of this, and being a part of this movement to save this democracy. Because, baby, have no doubt about it. That's exactly what we're doing. Trying to
That's what we're
save this
trying to do.
democracy, baby, before it all goes down the
That's
tubes.
for sure.
Try to put a smile on your face tomorrow. Put a smile on somebody else's face. It'll make you feel better. And until then, we'll be back here on Tuesday night for another Blue Dot Family meeting. Look for me on TikTok now, so I'm TikToking
Will
out
do,
there,
John.
baby. And anywhere else we can get the message out. I love y'all for being here. Y'all say goodnight.
Love you too.
Thank you, baby.
Good night, everybody.
Good
Love
night,
and hugs,
everybody.
everyone.
We'll see y'all later.